Hello and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Randacia, or Randy for short, and in today's video we are going to be setting up my standard of living tracker for Q3. If you are new to the channel, this tracker basically allows me to plan or envision financially what I want me and my family's life to look like for the next 90 days. This is part of my drill down budget method. It is a 4-step process where you have the first step is a yearly overview, the second step is the monthly budget, the third step is the weekly breakdown, and the fourth step is an expense tracker. But I wanted to implement this standard of living tracker because it's basically a quarterly check-in with your budget and your lifestyle. So I find that the yearly overview, yes, allows me to pre-plan and see what my year is going to look like. But as 2020 has taught us, your year can go left really quick and it's kind of hard to see what a year is going to look like. But if you break that year down into 90-day increments or quarters, then it's easier to envision what the next 90 days is going to look like for your life if you're sitting down and being proactive about how you want it to look. So doing this, I find that one, it will keep us from having a lifestyle creep. And if you don't know what that is, a lifestyle creep is basically the higher your income goes, the higher your expenses go. So for no real particular reason, it's okay if your expenses increase, but you should know where your money is going when your income increases, or you should have a plan for that extra income and not just spending it frivolously on, whatever, just because you have more money. And like I said, the second purpose of this standard of living tracker is just so you can break down in a more manageable scale and a more realistic scale how you want your life to look over the next 90 days. So with that said, let's go ahead and set up my Q3 standard of living tracker. So how this works is basically this works in coordination with my monthly month-end review, where basically I am tracking my expenses and I'm categorizing them at the end of every month using this month-end review, where I basically categorize all of my expenses and then I see how I did for the month that I'm actually budgeting for versus the previous month. But this standard of living tracker takes it one step further, and every month I write down the exact numbers from the month-end review in this column, and in the appropriate column. And then once I have my actual numbers, that's when I go and I put the actual numbers right here. But before I can get there, what I need to do is, again, envision what I want the next 90 days to look like, so that I can make sure that my vision for my life is actually what I'm doing and what I'm manifesting for the next 90 days. And I'm just not I don't want my life to be this way and then I'm doing another thing. So I'm kind of walking the walk. So with that said, I already wrote down all of my categories that I want to spend my money on for the next 90 days. And when I say I am speaking for my family, because I do go over this with my husband before, of course, I make any financial decisions. So whenever I say I'm talking about me and my family. So this is what we agreed on. So for our income, we are expecting about $5,000 a month. And that's based on our take-home pay. For gas, we are expecting to spend $275 in gas, and this has gone up just a tad because my husband will be going back to well, he will be attending school in person come the fall. Like everyone else, he's been doing remote schooling. Um, and if you are new to my channel, my husband is on track to, he's like pre-med, so he's on track to become a doctor and all that. So that's what my channel is all about. In case you're new, welcome. I'm just documenting my family's financial journey as we become financially free and independent. So yes, gas will go up just a little bit, I'm hoping. And also too, we are pregnant with twins right now, and I don't think I'm going to go on maternity leave until October. So I'm hoping that the gas will not be too high and that basically it'll stay around the same usage, because my husband will be commuting more, but I'll be staying home more for this going into especially Q4, but the tail end of Q3. So for food, I'm hoping to stay around $500 a month. Again, the twins will not be here, but we will probably be trying to um, get some things for them in advance, but it just all depends. So, and of course, with my husband going, like starting to go to school in person in the fall, I'm expecting that we will need a little bit less groceries money. So, you know, that's been a thing. So hopefully we can stay around that. Diapers and wipes, $40. We're going to keep that the same. That's what I've been budgeting. Clothing, we've been budgeting $20 a month. That seems to be okay. House supplies, we're budgeting $25 a month. Debt is $256.29, which is our car loan. We're not paying on any other debt right now, even though my husband does have student loans. We're only paying on the car loan right now because his student loans are in forbearance still. That will change come September, but I don't know by how much, because I would like to pay the interest as it accrues, because interest starts accruing even before, well, depending on what type of student loans you have, the interest will start accruing while you're in school. So even though you don't have to pay that interest or make payments on student loans while you're in school, it's a very good idea to pay the interest that accrues on your loans while you're in school. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll link a video that I did on student loans and the interest and all that kind of good stuff up in the cards if you want to check it out. So that's debt for right now. Childcare will be the usual $1,120. Medical, like I've been saying, we're not putting any more money in our medical sinking fund, just because I think that will be okay. Even if we hit our maximum out of pocket on our health insurance plan. Toiletries, I want to start putting money into more of our sinking funds, and I'm hoping that by us being 1 month ahead, I can kind of control how much money is going into our sinking funds versus continuously using any extra money that we have coming in or other money from other sinking funds to help out in other areas. So yeah, so I'm hoping to start putting money back into more sinking funds, and especially toiletries. So that's going to get 25, hopefully. Car repair and maintenance. We did just get a new car, which is why we have a car loan. Previously, we didn't have one. It sucks having a car loan again, but I mean, it was necessary. So, the car repair and maintenance, since it's a brand new car and my husband's car doesn't really need too much, I did come down on the car repair and maintenance from $50 to $25, and then I put that other $25 in the toiletries. So, next is gifts. So thinking about the next 3 months, so it's July, August, September. Thinking about The holidays that is in this quarter, we have 4th of July and Labor Day. We don't really celebrate Labor Day, and if we do, we usually go to my husband's parents' house, and they usually cook and things like that. We usually don't do anything, so if they don't do anything, we're not doing anything. And then 4th of July already passed because I am recording this on I'm actually recording this on the morning of my birthday. So happy birthday to me. Woo!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Mama. Happy birthday to you.
But 4th of July already passed, and we don't really celebrate the 4th of July either. And again, if we do, we go down to my in-laws and they cook and things like that. I'm not a huge fan of fireworks at all. So, yeah, and then my husband had to work, and our son is only 2.5. So I'm, of course, not letting him play with any type of fireworks. So, 4th of July, we didn't spend any money. But looking at birthdays and events, we have quite a few because September is our busiest birthday month. So my birthday, like I said, is today, July 17th. And I'm not going to be doing anything since I am pregnant. I like to be super, super, super low key when I'm pregnant. I like to go all out, or, do it up for birthdays. So sorry if you hear my son crying in the background. It is currently 3:30 in the morning, and we are trying to sleep train him because he has been in our bed for like the last couple of months, and with the twins coming, we're just trying to break him of being in our bed so that when we have to get up in the middle of the night, we're not disturbing him. But yeah, it's this is the first night that we're trying to, like, we started it and we were doing it for a couple weeks, and then it like nothing that we were doing seemed to be working. All right, so I completely forgot what I was talking about because my son has gotten up for the 4th time this tonight. He's been getting up every hour since 12:30, and it is now 4:30. So that's been interesting, but it hasn't bothered me since I've been up since 1 a.m. So, but my poor husband, and since our son is such a wild sleeper, when I say that he has been sleeping in the bed with us, I mean me, because my son will tear you up in the middle of the night. He will somehow end up with his whole body on top of your face. Like, he ends up like horizontal instead of vertical in the bed. Like, how do you, what? And then he be disappearing under the covers. It's just like, it's a whole thing. So he be slapping you in the face, and then he tries to put his arm around your neck, and it's just like, and then he does this thing where he likes to very lightly brush your eyebrows, your eyelid, after he's dug into your eyelid, of course. Then he likes to brush it, or he'll like to try to nibble in your ear. Like, boy, you doing way too much. So my husband couldn't take it, so he didn't want to be bothered. So my husband has been sleeping in the guest bedroom these last like couple of weeks, probably like 2 months now that we've stopped trying to sleep train him. So like I said, with the twins coming, we're trying to start back up sleep training our 2.5-year-old, which is crazy. But yeah, he got to get out of our bed because with me being pregnant, I can't even roll over onto my left side because I'm so worried about him like climbing on top of me or like kicking me in the middle of the night. It's just like a whole thing. So he has got to go into his own bed. He literally has his own bed, his own room, everything, but he is in our bed. Oh, gosh. Okay, so anyways, back to what I was saying. So birthdays and events, I was saying that that September is our busy birthday month. So on top of all of the birthdays, we have 3 anniversaries. But I'm not too worried about it because only one birthday in September is a child's birthday, and that's typically who we buy gifts for. We don't really buy birthday gifts for adults. What we typically do for adults, like unless they're going somewhere, like some kind of like grand event, then that's when we'll buy them a gift. But usually it's like they're going out to we're going out to eat or something like that, and we'll try to like cover their admission or buy them a drink or something like that for adults. But for kids, we try to buy them a gift. But with us being on this debt payoff journey and us having twins coming up and things like that these last couple of years, it seems like we've been having a huge event every single year, for like the last, like since 2014, 2015, I've had like a major event, like a life-changing event happen every year, which is crazy. But anyways, I plan to have our twins baby shower in September, because I'm expecting them to come in October. So even though their official due date isn't until November 7th, but I'm expecting them to come in October. So I want to go ahead and have their baby shower in September. So we got a plan for that. And then, yeah, so for gifts, this category for gifts is for other people, not so much for like the like family members, like my household. So I don't know if we're going to get children any gifts, because we do have 2 children's birthdays in this next quarter. So if we do, it's only 2 kids, so I'm not really going to worry about gifts. Monthly expenses, I'll post a picture of what the monthly expenses are made up of in this amount, but it's typically what I budget for every single month in this section of my budget template. So this section right here is typically is going to be what this number is made up of. And then annual, we do have a couple of annual expenses that are coming up in this quarter. So $256 for all of those that we're expecting. I'd have to look at, let's see, my annual tracker. So for my annual tracker, looking from July through September, we have a couple of car registrations. I did budget for my husband to pay his car registration in June, but he's just now getting around to it. So we just paid that. And then this is for my new car, and I'm just noting when the tags are due for next year. And then my husband, I'm expecting him to have some recertifications, which we already budgeted for. My driver's license was up for renewal this year, but I already did that. My P.O. box needed to renew, and I already budgeted for that. So that was all the annual expenses that we were expecting. So basically my husband's car registration and smog check and all that kind of stuff is what we're expecting for our annual expenses in this quarter. Nothing for beauty, even though I do want to go back to putting a little bit of money in beauty so I can get my eyebrows done, because it seems like outside is opening back up in California, but we'll see. Home repair and maintenance, I'm not planning on putting anything in there either, but I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up needing to put some money in there this quarter. Fun/holidays is for my household, for us to do like maybe a movie night or, something small so we can continue to have fun while on a budget. So, most of the stuff that we do is typically at home, but we could let this money build up over time. And if we want to do something, then we'll do something. But $10 a month for that. Landscaping, it is the summertime. Right now we have all of the things we need to maintain our yard, but my husband has just been letting it grow crazy. And every time I pull up to the house, I'm just like, I'm not embarrassed because like the whole entire block seems to be on the same page. Like we're not getting out here in this heat and pulling no type of weeds. And the landscapers are just hard to find around here. I don't know what that is. So the whole block is just, we just letting our yards grow free, and everybody's just like, oh well. So I don't feel no type of way about it. My husband will get to it when he gets to it. And then for the twins, I just wanted to put that here because I'm 100% sure that we're going to spend some money on the twins as we start to get ready for their arrival. And I just want to track how much I'm spending as far as like the baby shower and just getting ready for their arrival, because I do want to do like maybe a series on getting ready for the twins, like budget wise and all that other kind of stuff that, you know, expecting moms do on YouTube, like what's in my hospital bag type thing, but twin edition. And then right here I have business, and that's going to be the usual $44.98, but I am still thinking about canceling Epidemic Sound, so this may go down. So that is pretty much it for the category. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and add up these expenses. I'm not going to include my business expenses just because that comes out of my business account, which is separate from our personal family account. And then I'm not going to add in, or actually I am going to add in the annual. Yeah. So let me go ahead and add up all of the monthly amount. And my goal is that these categories realistically are not supposed to be more than the income that we're expecting per month. Because if it is more, that means you're living above your means, and you need to tone down these categories, and you need to maybe tweak some things in how you want your next 90 days to be, because that income is kind of like, unless you are really expecting some additional income, you still don't want to bank on that income unless it's put into your account. Like, never count money that's not for sure. So with that said, let's go ahead and add up the expenses. Okay, so that total is $5,290.65. And after I literally just said that these expenses aren't supposed to be more than your income, I'm kind of okay with it, just because our annual expenses is $256 and we're over by $290. So that means we need like $300 over the course of these 3 months if everything goes according to plan. And I think we'll be able to make that up. So just because my husband does pick up overtime and all that other kind of stuff. So and like I said, the annual expenses, like this amount is not going to be due in like 1 month. And most we have already paid most of this through my for my husband's car registration. So this number isn't even like a factor for the next 2.5 months. So I'm okay with this expense being more than our income. So what I'm going to do now is multiply these numbers by 3 so that I have the amount that we're expecting to spend for the quarter, because this is the monthly amount. And then I want to see on a quarter, on like a quarter view, what are we expecting to spend on each one of these categories. And then once the quarter is over and I've done my month-end review for July, August, and September, I'm going to add up all of these actual expenses according to the categories, and these two categories match. And I'm going to put that in the actual column, and then I'm going to see how we did overall for Q3, and did we live the kind of like the kind of life that we wanted to live financially? Did we go over budget, or like what kind of happened over the quarter? And but the main focus to make sure that we live within our means and live the life we want within our means. And that our unless we actually really want to increase our standard of living or our baseline spending, unless we want to increase that, then we kind of want to stick to this. So I hope that makes sense. Let me go ahead and add this up. Okay, so now that I put in all of the expected amount for the quarter for each one of these categories, I'm going to go ahead and add up the oh, I didn't do business. I'll do that in a second. I'll go ahead and do the total for the budgeted. So the budgeted total is going to be $15,871.95, which is absolutely crazy. When you look at it on a quarter, like a quarterly scale, it is so crazy how much expenses are. Because when you're looking at it from like a month to month view, or even when you're looking at your yearly overview, like it kind of makes sense when you see big numbers for the year. But when you break it down to the quarter, it's absolutely crazy that we're going to be spending about $8,200 on monthly expenses for the quarter. Like that is absolutely wild. And then for the quarter, we're going to be spending $3,300 on childcare. Like some of these numbers are just blowing me. Oh, you know what? This annual, I don't need to multiply it by 3 because it's not occurring 3 times. It's only occurring 1 time in a quarter. So I actually need to keep that the same number. So do not multiply that by 3 because like I said, it's just a one-time expense for the year. So we're going to minus 256 minus 256. Okay, so 15,359 spot 95. I mean, it's still 15,000. That's still a lot. So let me do this business really quick. Okay, so 134.94 for business, which is okay. I was going to say something. Oh, I was going to say that so in total, it looks like we're going to be like $360 over what our expected income is going to be, which, like I said, $360 over 3 months, I think we'll be okay. But going forward, I definitely want to get this down so that our expenses are below our income or increase our income. But we'll see what the actuals are and see whether being over by that much is actually okay. But like I said, I'm thinking we're going to be okay. So this side, like I said, this side is literally just copying the results from the month in review. So I will do each one of these with you guys. And then at the end of September, early October, we'll come back and close out this Q3 standard of living check-in. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it was a long one and I do apologize. So if you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you want to see more of my videos, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.